Hey everyone, today we're going to do a quick recap of the latest Club World Cup games and my predictions for the knockouts, who won, who disappointed, and how the groups shaped up. Let's get straight into it. In Group A, we had Inter Miami versus Palmeiras and Porto versus Al Ahly. For the Inter Miami game, it was a dramatic finale. Inter Miami and Palmeiras played out a 2-2 draw, with both sides remaining unbeaten. The result saw Palmeiras edge the group on goal differential over Miami. The match was wide open, and momentum swinging back and forth, delivering an electric atmosphere. For Porto versus Al Ahly, in an absolute wild thriller, Porto and Al Ahly drew 4-4. Al Ahly's Abu Ali scored a hat-trick, but Porto kept pace, with Pepe leveling it late. Despite the goal fest, neither team progressed. Both exited after this matchday. For the group review, for Group A, it ended in a tie for first, with Palmeiras leading over Inter Miami on goal difference, while both Porto and Al Ahly were eliminated. For Group B, it's not updated here on the FIFA website, but I did actually get the standings correct. I put PSG first, Botafogo second, Atletico de Madrid third, Seattle Sounders fourth. That's why there's the check marks and the X's. So for Group B, we had PSG versus Seattle Sounders and Atletico Madrid versus Botafogo. For PSG versus Seattle Sounders, Paris Saint-Germain topped the group, defeating Seattle 2-0 with goals from Kvaratskhelia and Hakimi. Despite Seattle's strong early pressing and home field support, PSG's clinical finishing sealed the win and confirmed their progression to the round of 16. Atletico de Madrid 1, Botafogo 0. Atletico managed a late 87th minute Griezmann strike to beat Botafogo. However, despite the victory, they were eliminated due to goal difference with PSG and Botafogo advancing in the group. Group B saw PSG claim the top spot, followed by Botafogo, while Atletico and Seattle were knocked out. For Group C, we had two games, Auckland City versus Boca Juniors and Bayern versus Benfica. In a stunning upset, amateur level Auckland City earned a 1-1 draw against Boca Juniors in sweltering Nashville, even enduring a nearly 15-minute weather delay. Christian Gray's well-timed header cancelled out Boca's earlier lead. This result eliminated Boca as the Argentine Giants crashed out despite 40 attempts. For Benfica vs Bayern Munich, Benfica claimed a historic 1-0 victory over Bayern Munich in oppressive heat, around 98 degrees, with Andreas Schlotterup scoring in the first half. Despite Bayern's dominance and 5 squad changes, they couldn't find the net. The win secured Benfica's top spot in Group C. This is how the group looks. I thought Bayern Munich was going to be first and Benfica was going to be second. But as you can see, that didn't happen. That's why there's the two X's next to them. But I did get the last two right. I just never expected Auckland City to make 1 point in this group. But congrats to them. They're an amateur team. Now for Group D, we had two games as well. Flamengo versus LAFC and Chelsea versus Esperance de Tunis. Chelsea 3, Esperance de Tunis 0. Chelsea cruised to a comfortable 3-0 win over Esperance in sizzling Philadelphia, around 100 degrees. Goals from Adarabioyo, Delap, and late drive from Tyreek George sealed qualification to the round of 16. The Heat didn't face Chelsea's second-string squad. Now for the Flamengo versus LAFC game, Flamengo and LAFC played out a 1-1 draw in Orlando, with LAFC's Dennis Bouanga breaking the deadlock in the 84th minute. But Flamengo responded instantly via Wallace Jan just 2 minutes later, earning a vital point and group topping position. Now for Group E, there were also two games, Monterrey versus Urawa Red Diamonds and Inter Milan versus River Plate. For the Monterrey versus Urawa Red Diamonds, Monterrey surged into the round of 16 with a commanding 4-0 win over Urawa. Nelson Diosa, Germán Berterame, and Jesus Corona scored in a blistering first half display. Now for the Inter Milan vs River Plate game, Inter Milan topped Group E with a 2-0 win over River Plate. Esposito netted in the 72nd minute, followed by Alessandro Bastoni in stoppage time. For Group F, we had two games as well, Fluminense versus Mamelodi Sundowns and Dortmund versus Ulsan Hyundai. For the Dortmund game, Borussia Dortmund secured a top spot in Group F with a tight 1-0 victory over Ulsan Hyundai. Daniel Svesen's early goal proved decisive, while Ulsan's goalkeeper, Jo Hyun-woo, made several key saves. The match was played under sweltering 99-degree heat in Cincinnati. For the Fluminense match, Fluminense drew 0-0 with Mamelodi Sundowns to clinch second place in Group F. Despite Sundowns controlling possession early, they failed to find a breakthrough, while Fluminense defended well to seal their spot in the round of 16. That's what it looks like. Borussia Dortmund first, Fluminense second, Mamelodi Sundowns third, and also HD fourth. I got everything right. For Group G, there were two games. Man City versus Juventus and Wydad Casablanca versus Al Ain. Manchester City blew Juventus away 5-2 in Orlando, showcasing attacking firepower with goals from Doku, Holland, Foden, Savinho, and an own goal. For the Wydad Casablanca game, Al Ain edged out Wydad 2-1 in Washington, thanks to goal from Laba and Kaku, turning the match around after conceding first. That's it for Group G. In Group G, I got nothing right. I got everything wrong. I said Juventus was going to be first. I said that Man City was going to be second. Wydad AC was going to be third. And Al Ain was going to be fourth. So I got everything wrong in that group. Yeah, but that's what it looks like. Advancing Man City and Juventus. For Group H, there were also two games. Al Hilal versus Pachuca and Real Madrid versus Red Bull Salzburg. For the Al Hilal game, Al Hilal defeated Pachuca 2-0 in Nashville, with goals from Salem Al-Dawsari and Marcos Leonardo sealing the win. Playing under normal conditions, the disciplined Saudi side shut down Pachuca and clinched runner-up in Group H. And for the Real Madrid game, Real Madrid topped Group H with a comfortable 3-0 victory over Salzburg, all but ensuring first place. Jude Bellingham, Arda Güler, and Fede Valverde scored under typical early summer conditions. This is how Group H looks. I got two right here. Real Madrid at first and Pachuca at last, but I thought Salzburg was going to advance, but it was Al Hilal. So Real Madrid advances and Al Hilal advances. For my predictions on the knockouts, we have Palmeiras versus Botafogo, Benfica versus Chelsea, Inter versus Fluminense, Man City versus Al Hilal, PSG versus Miami, Flamengo versus Bayern, Borussia Dortmund versus Monterrey, and Real Madrid versus Juventus. For the Palmeiras game versus Botafogo, I imagine it's gonna go to extra time. I think Botafogo take it from Palmeiras. Benfica versus Chelsea. I think Chelsea's simply the better team against Benfica, so I think Botafogo versus Chelsea in the quarterfinals. For Inter versus Fluminense, I think Inter obviously takes it here. For Man City versus Al Hilal, it's going to be at night. There's not going to be any heat. I think Man City advance. For PSG versus Inter Miami, obviously I think PSG pass. Now this is one of the hardest games for the round of 16. Flamengo versus Bayern. It's going to be played at 4 in Miami. It's a really hard game because Flamengo beat Chelsea 3-1. But I think that Bayern takes it here. I think the heat's gonna affect Bayern. I don't think it's gonna be like a 5-goal difference. I think it's just gonna be like 2-0 or 1-0. But I think Bayern takes it and making the quarterfinals, PSG versus Bayern. For Borussia Dortmund versus Monterrey, I think that since it's gonna be at 9 and it's gonna be in Atlanta, the closed stadium, I think Dortmund takes it here to play against the winner of Real Madrid versus Juventus at 3 at Miami. So I think Real Madrid takes it. Juventus is less used to the heat than Real Madrid, but I think that Real Madrid take it. Yeah, I think that's quarterfinals. It's the Champions League final of like a year ago. So Botafogo versus Chelsea. It's gonna be at Lincoln Financial Field at Philadelphia. I think that I'm going with the upset. I think Botafogo passes by here. And for Man City versus Inter Milan, I think that Man City take it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game, even if Inter aren't having their best time right now. I think it's gonna be a close game, but Man City overall just take the win. For the PSG versus Bayern game, this is a hard game. It's gonna be at 12. They had a really good season, so think that's gonna happen. And Real Madrid versus Dortmund, I think Real Madrid take it. With the semifinals being Botafogo versus Manchester City and PSG versus Real Madrid. I think Man City take it against Botafogo, and I think that's still PSG take it because I think Dembele should be back by then. Even though I think Mbappe also should be back, but I don't know. I think that's what's gonna happen. In the final, I stand with my first predictions before the group stage started. I think that PSG are the final winners of this Club World Cup. That's it for today. If you enjoyed the recap and the predictions, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you after the round of 16 is played.